I married a man named Hamid when I was very young. My family said he was a good man. They said he had money, respect, and a strong name. I did not love him, but I did not fight. In my heart, I felt quiet fear, not joy. On our wedding day, there was gold everywhere. Gold on my hands, gold around my neck, gold in red boxes. People smiled and said I was lucky. I smiled too, but my smile felt empty inside. Hamid spoke little to me. He worked late and came home tired. When he looked at me, his eyes were not warm. He believed money could do everything. If I felt sad, he brought gifts. If I stayed silent, he added more gold. He never asked how I felt. He never listened to my heart. Our home was big, but it felt cold and still. Every morning, I cleaned the house and cooked food. I waited for his voice, but the room stayed quiet. At night, he checked his phone and slept. Sometimes he went out without telling me where he was going. I trusted him because I was taught to trust my husband. But deep inside, something felt wrong. One day, I found a small message on his phone by mistake. It was short and sweet. It was not for me. My hands shook, but I told myself not to think too much. I wanted peace. I wanted this marriage to work. I stayed silent again. Hamid noticed my silence and brought more gold. Bangles, rings, and coins filled the drawer. He smiled with pride, like he had won something. He said, "You are happy now." I nodded, but tears burned behind my eyes. I felt like an object he could buy, not a wife he could love. I started to feel lonely. I talked to the walls and prayed for strength. I asked myself if this was life. I did not want another man. I only wanted respect and truth. But Hamid chose gold over honesty. He chose pride over love. That was the start of my pain. That was the start of a story where gold spoke louder than feelings. And that was the moment I understood that a marriage without love can slowly break a heart. Days passed, and the house felt heavier. Hamid stayed out longer at night. His words became sharp and short. When I asked simple questions, he became angry. He said I should be thankful. He said many women dream of this life. I stayed quiet, but my heart grew tired. One evening, Hamid forgot his phone at home. It rang again and again. I did not want to touch it, but fear pushed me forward. I looked at the screen. I saw her name. The messages were clear. They were full of care and attention. The words he never used for me were there. I felt weak and sat on the floor. My hands felt cold. I was not shocked. I was hurt. I thought of the gold in the drawer and felt sick. He was giving her his time and heart, and giving me gold to stay silent. When Hamid came home, I asked him calmly. I did not shout. I did not cry. I asked for the truth. He looked at me and smiled in a strange way. He did not deny it. He said it was nothing. He said men are like this. He said I should not make problems. Then he opened the drawer and showed me more gold. He placed it in my hands and said, "This is enough. Forget the rest." In that moment, I felt smaller than ever. I understood that he thought gold could buy my silence and my dignity. I returned the gold to the drawer. I told him I wanted respect, not gifts. He laughed and walked away. That night, I did not sleep. I stared at the ceiling and listened to the clock. Each second felt heavy. I questioned myself. Was I weak for staying? Was I strong for speaking? I remembered my dreams before marriage. I wanted love, trust, and peace. I had none of them now. The truth hurt, but it also opened my eyes. I saw Hamid clearly for the first time. He was rich in gold, but poor in heart. And I knew that my silence was helping his lies grow stronger. After that night, I changed. I spoke less, but I thought more. I stopped touching the gold. I focused on myself. I read books and prayed with a clear heart. I remembered that I was a human, not a thing. Hamid noticed the change. He tried to please me again with gifts. He brought gold sets and placed them on the table. He waited for a smile. I did not smile. I thanked him politely and walked away. This made him angry. He said I was ungrateful. I said nothing. One morning, I looked at my reflection. I saw a tired woman, but I also saw strength. I decided I would not live as a shadow anymore. I asked Hamid for an honest talk. I asked him to choose truth and respect. He refused. He said I should accept things as they were. That answer gave me clarity. I packed a small bag. I did not take the gold. I took my clothes and my courage. I went to my parents' house. My heart was racing, but my mind felt calm. People talked. Some blamed me. Some felt sorry. But I stood firm. I told my story without anger. I said I was not for sale. I said love cannot be replaced with gold. Life was not easy after that. I missed the comfort of money, but I felt free. I found work and learned new skills. Each day, I felt stronger. I smiled again, a real smile. Hamid tried to call me. He promised change. He offered more gold. I refused. I wanted actions, not objects. I wanted honesty, not silence. For the first time, I chose myself. I learned that staying in pain is not loyalty. Respect begins with self-respect. Time passed, and my life slowly became peaceful. I lived simply, but my heart felt light. I woke up without fear. I slept without tears. I understood that happiness does not live in gold boxes. It lives in truth and calm. I heard that Hamid lost many things. His pride broke before his money did. I felt no joy in his loss. I only felt relief that I had chosen the right path. I forgave him in my heart, not for him, but for myself. Sometimes I looked at my empty hands and smiled. They were empty of gold, but full of strength. I learned to value myself. I learned that love cannot be forced or bought. This story is not about hate. It is about choice. It is about understanding that silence can hurt more than words. It is about knowing when to walk away. Today, when I see gold, I remember my lesson. Gold shines, but it has no soul. A kind heart is worth more than any metal. Respect is richer than wealth. If someone tries to buy your silence, remember your worth. If someone breaks your trust, listen to your heart. Life is too short to live as a shadow. I did not lose a marriage. I found myself. And that lesson was worth more than all the gold in the world.